Just calm down. Calm down. Calm down. You're sitting there. You're cussing up a storm. I understand. You don't like my hat. I mean, it's okay. I could take it off if it's that big of an issue, but just please. I mean, you're saying really hurtful things, and I haven't been called that since like grade school too. So like, let's just grow up a little bit, okay? Oh, listen, hey, we're live. Whoa.
Look, I know Clowny called me a putz before on Instagram, but listen, it takes a schmuck to know one.
Hey, you schmucks. Hey, everybody. If anyone's in right now, I'm not sure, but this is Broke Nerfing, and we're here with interview series number 10. I can't believe it's number 10 already. And my guest today is Griever2112.
What's up, YouTube? Griever here.
Hello. All right, let me check the chat and see what you guys are yakking about. See what you yells are yakking about in there. I don't know how to change the thumbnail on there. Whoa, okay. Calm down, calm down, calm down. All right, hey, RZ Ryder, thanks for showing up, man. Clowny Nerf, what is happening? David James, what's shaking, my dude? Stop talking mess. I said, don't make me smack you. All right. Whoa. Empire, thanks for showing up, brother. Nerfer113, thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm here with Griever2112, Nerfing Lionheart Customs. If you don't know who he is, then the link is in the description of this video. As well as the link to all my patrons. And I just want to take a chance right now before we start to thank my patrons, my tier 1 to tier 3 patrons. Homely, I want to thank Homely for being one of my patrons. I want to thank Newport Nerfer113. Thank you so much. His link's in the description. I want to thank Tisha Kee. Thank you so much. I want to thank Slaedur. Thank you so much. And I want to thank Brad for American Foam. Thank you guys so much. All my tier 3 patrons have their links in the description below. So please go patronize them for patronizing me. And we have 6 viewers in. Right on.
Hey, not bad. Better than my last live stream.
Yeah, man. We got Nerf ZSM in the house. Thank you for showing up, dude. Appreciate you coming by. It's been a while. Yeah, man. I've been doing this, you know. I did a live stream a couple nights ago, or last night, actually. And a bunch of people came in and got a bunch of subscribers, man. Everyone was like helping each other out in the chat. It was awesome. So make sure you guys are helping each other out in the chat. Make sure you're sharing this out to your friends. Bring more people in for us, man. The more people that come in and support each other, the more, you know, the more you'll grow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the way to do it.
There we go, man. All right, let's go ahead and start this off, man. You ready?
I'm ready. Go for it. Fire away.
All right, man. So where are you from?
Originally, I am from New York, and I currently reside in the, I would like to say great state, but it's not, of New Jersey.
Not the great state of New Jersey, huh?
No. Yeah, not the great state. It's a state, but it's not great.
Hey, and remember, guys, if you've been to these interviews, these conversations, you could ask questions in the chat, and you know, your questions will be asked to my guest here, you know, just as long as they're on topic. If we're talking about something specific and you guys ask a question like, you know, what kind of car do you drive or something, it's going to be you know, I might wait a while and ask that later on, you know, but just make sure they're on topic. Try to stick with the topic at hand. So yeah,
keep it clean, Clowny.
Yeah, Clowny, keep it as clean as you can make it, you know. Hey, Boomtendo, the Boom Friendo, thanks for showing up, dude. California Nerf, thank you for showing up, man. Okay, so Griever, what do you do when you're not grieving?
Well, I was a call center operator for about 9 years until about a week and a half ago, and now I'm a master billing coordinator for a new company.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Do you so what do you work with your hands a lot, or do you do a lot of designing?
Well, when it comes to my blasters, I try to. I usually usually, especially when something new comes out, I always try and start figuring out, okay, what can I do to this? And then it's a lot of paint jobs and some cosmetics here and there and all, but over and all, it's usually I try and get performance out of stuff. So, but it all depends on what the project is for,
Yeah.
as with anything else.
Right on. Hey, Patricia Sprinkles, thanks for stopping by. Griever, how did you get into the hobby?
um, Probably about 5, 6 years ago, I think it was. I had actually picked up a Recon CS6 and I wanted to actually use it for a Left 4 Dead cosplay. And I started thinking, I'm like, I wonder if you could paint this up easily. And I perused the Googles for a little bit, and I actually came across Nerf Revolution, which was the southern equivalent of Nerf Haven. And I saw what everyone was doing with these things, and I'm like, oh my god, this is you could do this with a Nerf gun. And it just slowly started going there. I actually wound up painting up that Recon for in a Mass Effect style, which I look back now and it's, oh god, it's so horrible. But my first real performance mod is actually back up there, is under the blue long shot, is my Alpha Trooper, which served me very well for many a years until I finally put it out to pasture because it couldn't handle it anymore.
Wow. So 5 years ago, you said you got into this?
Yeah, I got in just a little, probably after Clowney did, I think, because I know I met Clowney at least about 5 years ago or so. So yeah, it's been about maybe 5, 6 years.
Oh, sorry, I'm opening up a freaking medicine bottle over here.
That's fine.
I didn't know it switched to me. Hello.
That's fine. I'm on a regimen of Zyrtec daily, so I know what that's
okay.
like.
Yeah. My crazy pills, man.
Yeah.
So, do you collect? Do you just mod? I mean, what do you say?
I have a collection of sunblasters. I mean, I have like about 6 full bins of stuff, but it's mostly like more of the it's more of the current stuff, really. I have a couple of classic ones. Like I have the original Ball Blaster, which actually was nice enoughly given to me by Clowney, and I do have a complete hyper sight. So that's actually pretty cool because a lot of times when you find those, it's usually the little part that pops off to become the stock on it is usually always missing. But yeah, I have a completed one, which isn't bad. I mean, no stickers. Um, I have a couple of the original strong arms, and I think that's really it for vintage, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Wow, dude. I just got into it this year, so I have like hardly anything just yet, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not really trying to be a collector. I mean, if someone gives me something, I take it, but it's not like I go out of my way to get every single thing that comes out. Like, some people try and just get everything, every color, when they bring it out in like battle camo or something, they're like, oh my God, I got to have that now,
Okay, wait. I think I lied a little bit. I actually do have a collection of rough cuts because I absolutely adore that blaster. It's like to me, it's like one of the perfect sidearms, really. Because you can run it depending on what the game type is as a CQB primary or excuse me, a nice little secondary. So I have the blue, the white, the double zombie strike pack. I now have the battle camo one, and I hate myself for wanting it, but I think I may need to get that micro shot version. Just so I can say, well, I have the rough cut. I have the rough cut of it, so it's part of the collection, so it counts.
Well, I mean, I can understand it when it's something like a blaster that you really like, but not,
Yeah.
having to get everything just because it's new,
Yeah, I mean, as much as I would love to have a crossbow, but I'm not going to spend $200 for something to sit on my wall. If I'm going to spend that much money, I'm going to freaking use it.
I do love the rough cut though. I have the Zombie Strike 2-pack too, man. I got it off of Offer Up app. Someone was selling like a big lot for like $30, and I was like, dude, just how much for the rough cuts, man? So I got like 2 for $5. It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, I was stoked. I don't use it much. I mean, I modified the orange one, but I don't really even use it much. You know, I really
Mhm.
should start using it.
Yeah, the other one I really like is the hammer shot because I mean I have at least like I'm staring at them. I have like three on one of my other walls, and one's got a 3D printed cylinder with the what is it, the Blaster Parts hammer kit in it, a orange ModWorks kit, and then just one just painted up really awesomely.
Nice. Yeah, I dig the hammer shot myself, man. That was the first blaster I modded. The first one I got actually the you know when I mean I've gotten blasters back when you know back in like '09 or something. Me and my buddy
Mhm.
started getting them just to like mess around shooting them at each other and you
Yeah,
know his son and but I never really took it as a hobby. It was just having them around because they were cool. And you know, I ended up just giving those to his kid, you know. But yeah, my first one I got this year when I wanted to start getting into the hobby was a hammer shot. That was the first mod I did, man. Still love
nice.
it.
Yeah, hammer shot's a great little sidearm, especially if you can get a good extra shot or extra two or three shot cylinder and all. That definitely makes it something worth to have on you. Definitely.
Hey, Cool Magic Forum. Thanks for stopping by. I am here with Griever 2112. We just started the interview just a few minutes ago. Um, so what did you play with as a kid, dude? Like what were you into?
Uh, let's say back in the '80s, I had a lot of Transformers. Um, I had some GI Joes. I kind of blame my mom for actually my love of this hobby because she never really let me have a lot of toy guns when I was young. So I blame her for this obsession now. So
Same, dude. I always wanted toy guns, and my mom would be like, "Ah, you've got enough already, you know.
yeah,
Oh, no more toy guns." But yeah, I was always big on them, man. I was
yeah.
always huge on the toy guns. Do you have any other hobbies, or is it just the Nerf?
Um, well, I actually do. Well, I video game a lot. I actually do have a second channel called Griever Goes Gaming. I don't upload to it as much as I used to anymore, just because trying to make the videos for that is actually way more time consuming than it is for anything really Nerf related. And I mean, it's a fun hobby. It's it keeps my editing skills sharp and all. And but I mean, I mainly just do it now for more fun than anything else. So
Got it, man. Right on.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm big into gaming myself too. I actually had a gaming channel, a retro gaming channel back when I was still in the army. You know, it was like back in '06, '07, '08. I was playing, you know, I would get all these obscure friggin' Sega Master System games or, you know, whatever. And I would you know, it was like a let's play. I would talk about the game, then I would play it, you know, and show the game on the screen. It was a lot of fun, man. I really
Yeah,
dug that. I
yeah,
quit that I quit that channel. I had like thousands of subscribers, like a few thousand, dude, and I quit it in like '09, and I didn't know that we would ever be monetized. You know, I never knew monetization was like a thing. So
mhm.
I kind of, yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself that I stopped it. And you know, if I could have kept going on and maybe
Yeah,
could have had something cool.
yeah, sure. I mean, I still play some retro games and all still. Like I still keep my PS2 hooked up so I can play PS1 and PS2 games because my kids actually still like playing SS Tricky.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah, that's a
absolutely love that game.
killer game. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Angel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm doing my interview series. I'm interviewing different folks in the Nerf or Blaster hobby, modification hobby. So thank you so much for stopping by. And everyone remember to support each other's content in the chat. Remember, check out each other's channels. Go support each other, man. We all want to grow. Um, so what is your favorite? What's your favorite Blaster unmodified form?
Unmodified form. Um, I would have to probably still say the Alpha Trooper
Yeah.
because, well, I correction, the Elite Alpha Trooper because that at least has the direct plunger in it. But I always like that form factor because it comes pump gripped already, so you don't have to buy a 3D printed slide for it or anything. It has the bottom uh, bottom dart feeding magazine rather than the side loading, which is one thing I never really liked about the Raider or the Rampage. And you can throw a stock on it, and it's a very comfy blaster, and it's like it's really proportioned very well. And if you're quick with slam fire, I mean, it's a lot of people remember me back in the day. That could be quite devastating.
Yeah, dude, I don't even have an Alpha Trooper, but I really like them. They're super cool, man.
Yeah, I know they're supposed to be coming out with the Accu Trooper, which is the Accu Strike version of it, which it's now going to come with a barrel attachment on the front, which is, you know, what we've been asking for since day one with it, but that's besides the point. So, you know, I would definitely say if once they come out, as long as it's not like, you know, $70, pick it up because it will be worth it.
Right on, man. I didn't know it was coming with the attachment, man. That's I saw pictures of it, but I only saw it in the just the base form, you know, like they usually come.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to come with an attachment though, but I know it does have the attachment point on it because you can see on the front of it, it's a lot bigger than the original one, which is just basically just a tiny little orange ring that comes out a little past, you know, the front of it, the front end of the blaster. So
yeah,
it looks like it does actually have an attachment point. I don't know if it's actually going to come with anything though.
oh, okay, I get it. So it does have an attachment point. Oh, right on.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So what would you say your least favorite blaster is? Unmodified, I guess. Least favorite.
The deploy.
The deploy. Yeah, man. That's a lot of people's choice of least favorite. You know.
Because I mean, I'm still willing to try and work on one because I've had a Mass Effect like scheme planned for one since I got my first one, and then realized how crappy it was. But there was so much potential behind it, and it just sucks so bad performance wise.
Dude, I mean, I was here. You know, I was. You know, I'm still kind of new, but I was at my like one of my first Nerf nights, and some dude brought a deploy, and he brings it out and he flips it open, and I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty dope," you know. And like everyone was laughing. They were like, you know, they're like, "If you get it one tag, I'll give you $5," you know. And they're all like, you know, they're all like busting his chops, and I was like, "Dude, well, what's the problem with it?" I was like, "That thing seems pretty sick," you know. And then they told me, you know, what was wrong with it.
It was one of those. The concept behind it was amazing, but the performance was basic. It was basically like it had the body of a Mustang and the performance of a Chevy Nova.
I like that analogy. That's really good.
Because if that thing could hit 20 feet flat, you had a good deploy.
Wow, man. I like that. That's pretty good. So Nerfer99 is asking, what's your favorite blaster in modified form?
Oh, in modified form. Well, I do have to say I really like my hammer shots modified because I mean 5 shots is fine, but when you can add 6, 7, if you get the Gavin Fuzzy one, an 8 shot to it, and even the metal kits, I mean, those are actually really solidly built. I mean, it makes it a very, very nice sidearm. Trying to think if there's anything else really.
I'm sure there's a lot of blasters you like in modified form, but I guess
there's plenty
favorites, you know.
Yeah, definitely the hammer shot's one of them. I have to say my Alpha Trooper because I mean that thing served me well for many a year.
What the foam said, don't forget Boom Tendo's 10-shot hammer shot cylinder.
Yes, that is true. Boom Tendo's 10-shot hammer shot cylinder is a good one, but it is for Boomco darts. I do not have a lot of, unfortunately. So.
I know, myself included. I don't have very many, but I really want more now because I'm starting to get, you know, I have 2 blasters, 2 Boomco blasters now. So I'm getting a collection, man. I'm building up the arsenal. Yeah. But yeah, I really like Boomco. I really like the Boomco darts, man. I think they have really cool performance, and I'd like to use them more.
They do have good performance and all. My only thing is though, it's like if you step on one of those and like kind of smash it in half, though, it really doesn't perform as well as like you may be able to fix you may be able to fix like a foam dart, but the straw, if it cracks, that's it, it's done. I mean, same thing you can say for foam, but it's a little bit more durable, I think, in my opinion.
I don't know. I guess
Nintendo will definitely challenge me on that.
Oh, I'm sure he will. But also, I would think that the Boomco darts would hold their form better after use. You know, like foam darts wear a lot. You know, they even just being fired out. You know, even if you're not stepping on them, just firing them. You know, over and over. Boomco darts, I don't think would lose their form and lose their, you know, and lose the performance like foam would.
That is true, but I think it's also a matter of, because Boomco is a little bit more, I guess you can say, scarce, especially now that Toys R Us is gone. Like, I've been to Target and Walmart's, and I haven't seen a Boomco blaster there in months, maybe a year even. Excuse me.
Hey, a little gassy there, buddy.
Yeah, I wolfed down dinner right before this, so I apologize if there's a couple of little belches here and there.
Homely is in the chat. Thanks for showing up, Homely. I appreciate it, man. Boomtendo. Might as well just call him Boomco. He said he's been using this. He said he's been using the same darts for 3 years.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I could definitely see the durability on him. It's just like, it's like I said, I just don't have an ease of access to them. So, plus I have like 4 Boomco blasters. One of them is my my Halo pistol. Another is a Brute Striker. I have, I think behind me, I have the Needler. And then I have a modified one, which I actually modified to shoot homemade darts.
Nice, man.
Yep.
So now that we're checking out your wall of goodies, what would you say is the mod that you're like the most proud of, man? What is your pride and joy of mods?
Well, I'd have to say my pride and joy would most probably be the Green Raider. And there is a very special story behind that one. About 4 years ago, I lost a very, very dear friend of mine. That was actually one that I made for him. About 2 years prior to that, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he had been out to a war or two with me and like really actually enjoyed the hobby. So I pre-ordered the Raider Massacre kit with the metal trigger and everything. Put it in a Raider. He's a huge Green Lantern fan, which is why, if anyone wonders why I have that. And
it wasn't for the Ryan Reynolds movie that you're just a big fan of.
that movie made him cry.
Oh, bet, man. I bet.
But since he was such a big Green Lantern fan, I was like, I want to make him a Green Lantern Raider. So I made that for him, and Clowny even made a special Maverick for him, which his wife actually wound up keeping, and she actually let me have that back. So that's been back up on my wall, and I mean, it obviously is not seeing use because I don't want to damage it and all, but that's like one of the ones that is most probably my most precious mod, I guess you could say.
Oh wow, that's really cool, man. Thanks for sharing that with us. I could see how you would have a sentimental attachment with that as well. So that's really awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Do you actually use it still, or does it just kind of sit in a place of honor?
No, it just more kind of sits on a place of honor right now, because I mean, it was also like one of the first mods that I really did and took my time with. I never actually clear coded it, so I don't want to take it out into the field for fear of dropping it and just completely wrecking it. So
yeah, I totally understand, man. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you never used it, even if it was clear coded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Really, thank you so much for telling us that. So now that we're talking about your favorite, what is your most janky or least favorite mod that you've done? The one that's in the place of shame.
The one that's in the place of shame? Oh God, where do I begin? I think it's actually, you know what? One of my most disappointing things, I'd have to say, at least of recent memory, is I tried to modify the Walking Dead bolt action rifle,
Mm-hmm.
only to find out I could not do anything I wanted to with it because one thing I've gotten really good at over the last year or so, and I apologize, I cannot remember who I actually saw do this on Nerf Modders Welcome, but I saw somebody just basically made a Busby Predator into a pistol. So it was basically a large bolt action pistol. I'm like, wow, that is really cool. I gave it a shot. I made one, and it was really cool, except I can't open it anymore because when I did the putty work on it, I just puttied over the holes while it was closed. So I can't reopen it again without cracking all of that. Second one I did though, I remembered what I messed up on the first one, so I did the putty separately so I can actually open and close it. I was able to do it then to a Alpha Rogue, which is like the newer Adventure Force version of it,
Yeah, yeah.
and it came out. Oh, that one also came out really cool. I'm like, why can't I do this to? I'm like, what else can I do this with? I'm like, oh, that Walking Dead one. It's bolt action and it's clip fed. It'll be perfect. Won't work. Can't I can't chop off the stock because for some reason when they remade this thing, they decided to extend the catch into the stock itself. So without completely redoing the internals on it, there's no way to easily chop that off and just kind of like plaster the back of it with something to like close it and make a comfortable like pistol grip. And it's just like right now, it's just like over there in pieces, just in shame, going, you know what you did.
You know, I've actually seen both of those on your Instagram, dude. I'm pretty sure I've seen both versions. The shame, you know, both the first one and the Alpha Rogue, dude.
Yeah.
Both of those are for display. If anyone wants to see them,
Yeah,
they're on his Instagram right now.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I mean, like, the concept behind it is pretty cool.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, the performance on the Predator is kind of, I guess you can say it's kind of janky also because it's got a very weird plunger system to it. The Alpha Rogue has the same thing, but you can at least kind of sneak in a better spring into it. So, and that one was actually with Clowning at Endwar along with my Magnet, my Halo Magnum, my Last Word Hammer Shot, and I forgot what else I sent them. Because I know I sent them those two, the Alpha Rogue, and I sent them something else, but for some reason I'm just blanking on what the fourth blaster was. I don't know why. But anyway.
Right on, man. I actually have a Predator right now that I've been working on and kind of got hung up in it. And I was doing a brass mod, and it's just been sitting in an OtterPot box, like an empty OtterPot box right now. All the pieces are in there, the shell, because the Predator is really small. You know, once you take the barrel off, it's very small. So yeah, it's all. Yeah. It's just hanging out.
Yeah, that's why it lends itself very well to if you want to make it into a pistol. So
yeah, that's a killer idea, man. Actually, I haven't seen that mod done before, except I saw it on your Instagram. That was the only time I've really seen that. But yeah, that's actually a really cool idea.
I wish to God I could take credit for it, but I know I can't. Just my moral compass will not allow it. Because I know also the second I do, that guy who actually did it goes, no, I did it first. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Well, that's like when I was doing the when I chopped the front of the Vigilante, the Zuru Vigilante off. Yeah. And you know, and What the Phone posted that on their you know, posted that up, you know, like it was something like new. And I was like, actually, you know, Griever did that, man. I did have the idea before I saw yours, though. I did see yours after I thought of it.
Yeah, that's fine. That you know what? That always happens because everyone in this hobby always has that one idea that we're like, I haven't seen this done before. I'm going to do this mod, and then immediately somebody puts up something and it just goes, damn. Because that happened to me. I thought up of taking a recon barrel or a retaliator barrel and just going, you know what? The Magnus makes a really nice, if you turn it upside down, makes a really nice shotgun. You can just chop the handle off, attach it right there. What do I see? Like not even 2 hours later, Coop put up a video doing the exact same thing. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Hey, actually, Nerf Turf Battle's in here. Nerf Turf Battle, thanks for showing up, man. Nerf Turf Battle is actually, I don't know if you know him, but he does Nerf parties out in Texas. Really cool.
Yeah, I think we just friended each other on Instagram. I want to say. I think so.
Yeah, I found him randomly searching for Nerf goodness on YouTube. You know, I always do that, man. I go through comment sections on people's videos, and when I see a channel that looks like it'll be pretty cool, I check it out, and I subscribe to them, I comment and everything. Just I like to support everybody in the hobby, and people, especially the smaller channels like ours, and we're trying to come up. The big guys have all the support they need.
Oh yeah.
Not saying they're bad, or that I dislike them. Like I met Drac recently. He's a really cool dude. He was, he came to the mod party that we were hosting here at this church, and really it was a nice guy. He was helping people out with their mods, things like that, talking to everybody. Yeah. Really nice dude.
I have to say, I actually met Jack about 2 years ago. He actually came up for APOC with Flying Chicken and a couple of the other guys from the South and all. And I have to say, I'm not going to say anything bad, but I have to say I like Drac the person more than I like Drac the YouTuber. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, all right.
Only reason being is because, again, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to start anything. It was just, I had seen one of his after videos where not so much things were said, but things were implied about how things were run. And it was like, I did not get that feeling at all from talking to him basically all day. And it was just like, that was just really weird. And like, and so it was just one of those things of like, as a person he was really, really cool, but just seeing if that's just what he does for his viewers and to like bump up the Southern experience and all, it's like, it's not really cool, man, but you do you.
Wow. Okay. Clowny said, Griever, let's not talk about APOC.
He's saying that because every time at every APOC, something of his winds up breaking.
Oh, okay. Nerfer113 has a question for you. He said, so Griever, if you had to choose between a stock Hailfire, a stock Strife, or a stock Rapid Strike, which would you choose?
I'm not too much of a flywheel guy, but I would have to say probably actually the Rapid Strike.
Okay.
I do like the full auto that it does actually have. Plus, just size-wise, I find it much more comfortable. I know everyone has done everything under the sun and back to the moon with the friggin' Strife. But if I actually did have a choice, which actually I am going to be working on hopefully soon, I'm actually going to be doing a Demolisher as kind of like an HVZ primary.
Nice. That's what I used during the Ragnarok Oktoberfest Stalking Dead. I used my Demolisher.
Nice.
And I've never had any missiles for it. I've always kept the missile attack, the missile launcher on there because I think it just looks so cool. I remember seeing these back when we used to play with these blasters, and I was big into like blasters, in like the early 2010s or whatever. And then the Demolisher came out and I was like, dude, that is like the coolest looking thing ever. I just thought it looked so awesome, but I never got one. And I just ended up getting one from like a Goodwill, or my mom actually picked that up in a blue Retaliator and a few other things that she just saw randomly at a Goodwill. And I was just so stoked on that Demolisher. It was like my second flywheel mod I've ever done, man. It was
Mm.
just so I dig it. My first,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like I wasn't ready for it. I had only done a strife, and the strife is kind of easy compared to flywheel blasters. And this one had like the two shells came apart in two different, came apart in two different pieces. Each one you had to weave wires in and out between them, and it was just I wasn't ready, dude, but I ended up doing it.
Yeah. Well, I like the Demolisher more for, again, the size of it and all, because I'm a big guy. So, but I actually did find something really cool from, I want to say it's a Nerfer in Germany. I think it's Jace 3D. He actually has a really nice 3D printed front grip for it if you take off the missile launcher, which God only knows where the hell my missiles are for it. Um, but I've wanted to get one of those, but it's just, I mean, they're cheap, but to get them from Germany, they're expensive.
Mhm.
So I haven't actually gotten one yet, but once I do, that's when I'm going to decide to kind of work on my Demolisher and figure out, okay, I'm going to make an HVZ primary if I ever actually get to a game. So I have something, and this is going to be it. So,
Right on. Yeah, I saw Jace 3D's Demolisher parts. He has some really cool ones, man, like the front barrel attachments and things like that. He has some really cool stuff on there for the Demolisher, you know.
yeah. And that's the thing, like, everyone's always about the strife and this and that and all this stuff. Honestly, I think the Demolisher looks better. Even though a lot of people will say, oh, well, you take the missile launcher off and it's just a strife. Yeah, but it's a better looking strife.
It is. It's a lot better looking. And
At least it's symmetrical.
yeah, and it is. And I actually I like having that the attachment point on the side of the blaster too, because I made a magazine and I put like a little rail attachment on there so I could clip a mag to the side there, and it's
Ah,
so
cool.
yeah, it makes it so it comes in handy, especially in BTA when we're
Mhm.
doing the competitive tournaments. I mean the blaster's a little heavy, but I have a sling, and just having that extra mag just on the side there, it's just really easy just to unclip it and throw it in when you're running low.
Oh, yeah.
um Nerf Turf Battle is he asked if we're going to, I think he's asking both of us if we're going to Jared's Epic Nerf War. That's the one in
Uh,
Texas.
yeah, unfortunately, I more likely than not will not be attending that as much as I would like to. Um, I have two small children and a wife, so it's hard for me to actually do long distance traveling. I'm hoping to because my brother-in-law actually just moved out to Chicago, so I'm hoping to convince my wife that, like, if End War is still in Athens next year, which fingers crossed, I hope, I can just be like, look, End War is on the way to go visit family. Let's stop there for the weekend and then just keep going.
I like the way you think, man.
I got to start getting creative with some of the stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to go unless someone out here is going and I can hitch a ride with them and maybe sleep on the hotel room floor or something. But I don't think I'd be able to, just because financially I don't think it's feasible for me to be able to go as much as I would like to go. I don't think I'd be able to. Also, End War. I would really like to go to End War. That would be really cool, man. I would, me and Clowney talked about me being in his slowpoke squad. I would definitely be in that just because of some my back injuries are just too
Mhm.
hard for me to run around. Like at Ragna,
Yeah.
me and Spam Man were kind of the defensive duo. We were holding things down, and it was in the back. It was really cool. Um, but yeah, I would like to go to End War. Michelle from Foam Blast was telling me that I might want to start a Kickstarter or like a something like that to try
Like
and
a
help
GoFundMe
me.
thing, yeah.
A GoFundMe, that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
GoFundMe.
remember me and Kleiny were talking about that, trying to get Wallcom out to end war or APOC and just be like, sort of GoFundMe for him, get the Walrus to the East Coast.
Yeah. Where is End War at next year? Is it same place?
I have no idea. I'm hoping it's still in Athens, but there have been talks about it being moved to other locations.
That's what
Hopefully,
I heard as well.
yeah. I mean, if it does go to where I've heard, I probably will not be able to attend because it will definitely be way out of the way. But if it stays kind of in the Northeast area, I'm definitely going to try and make it next year, without a doubt.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be really cool to be able to go wherever it is, you know. So Nerfer99 has another question. He says, Griever, he did that. Griever, if you had to choose between a stock strong arm, stock hammer shot, or a stock rough cut, I know your answer. Which one would you choose?
Probably the rough cut.
I figured as much.
Yep, definitely the rough cut. Although I would definitely take the hammer shot as my secondary.
Yeah, I love the rough cut, dude. I like it so much. My girlfriend loved it too, so she got her own battle camo one once it came out in the Walmarts around here.
Yeah.
She finally grabbed one, but yeah, she really likes it. I love it. My friend Nerf and Turf, not Nerf Turf Battle, but Nerf and Turf. He's also from Texas, funny enough. But he sent me some parts from some of his 3D printed designs, and one of them one of the orange ones looks so good on my my rough cut, my Zombie Strike orange rough cut. It's like a little sight. It looks kind of like a reflex sight almost. It's so cool. But yeah, I dig that on my rough cut, my modded orange one. I got to use that more, man. I really got to use it.
Yeah, I do have a couple of other rough cuts around just that I've worked on and kind of destroyed over the years. There actually has been a mod for the rough cut I have been working on. I just have not been able to kind of finish it, so to speak, because it's just I'm still trying to figure out all the, I guess you can say the logistics of it, because what I want to do is I want to try and get rid of the gear system and just basically make it a straight, pull back prime and push forward and all. But I'm still working out the measurements on the polycarb and trying to fiddle out what I need, what I don't need, what would be, what could I use that would just be reinforcement on it. But it's still definitely a long work in progress, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Clowny says Spam Man is king. Spam Man is such a cool dude. He came to the mod party we had, and then I'll tell you this, at Ragna, I was talking with Drac, and I said that I was, I was almost at 1,300 subscribers. I was like at 1,299, and he heard that, and he was like, hold on, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing right now and get you to 1,300, dude. And we filmed him getting me to the 1,300. It was so cool, man.
Nice.
But yeah, we ended up, teaming up that day. Yeah, he's a really good dude, man.
Yeah. Well, you're not shy from almost 1,400 now, so definitely kudos to you, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Very, very close, man. Very close. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, RZ Rider says End War is awesome. This year was insane. I was with Spam and Drac and TK, etc. And someone found out our group's first mission was supposed to kill us all off. I don't know if it's true though, but he made it to the final stand. Yeah, right on, man. Yeah. So, let's get back to some questions here, man. What would you say is the most underrated blaster?
Most underrated blaster? Well, yeah, the rough cut is one. I'd have to say probably the Spectre.
Oh, okay.
Not so much the Elite Spectre, because I didn't like the way they kind of redesigned it for the redesign on it, but the original Spectre, to me, that was a very underrated blaster, because yes, it did have only 5 shots rather than the 6, but it was a lot easier to mod than the what was it, the Maverick? I mean, you could do basically the same mods on the Spectre that you could do with the Maverick, because you just open up the cylinder, pop out all the ARs, and you're good to go with that. But then in regards to the spring, you didn't have that like tiny little one that you had to kind of fiddle with. Clowney made awesome ones, like kind of like pusher springs in order to get that more oomph out of them. All you had to do was just find a decent enough like Home Depot spring or whatnot, and you could just replace that in your Spectre, which is what I did, because the very first war, the loadout I had was my Alpha Trooper, and then as a sidearm, I just had a modified Spectre, and it held its own very well.
Nice, man. So what would you say is the most overrated blaster?
Other than the crossbow?
yeah, other than the crossbow, man.
Honestly, the Strife.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that, dude. I could totally see that.
Because, I mean, everyone, like, fawns over it and all, but, again, like, a lot of the Springers, where if you just look at it internally, yeah, all the Springers are basically the same. It's like, basically all the flywheels are the same, and the Strife is basically the same thing as the Demolisher, just with the battery tray on the opposite side. But everyone just goes nuts for it, and I'm like, I mean, I personally don't like that many flywheels to begin with, but it's like, why? Why?
Yeah.
I never understood the appeal of that thing.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Strife because it was my first flywheel mod, my first flywheel blaster. Oh no, it wasn't my first flywheel. That was the Adventure Force. That was the Adventure Force Light Command was my first flywheel, but that was my first mod.
And that's actually another underrated blaster.
It is very underrated. Yeah, I love that one. You just throw like 3 IMRs in it, dude, and 3 dummy batteries, and you're hitting like 115, dude. It's really cool, man.
Yeah, and you don't even have to rewire the damn thing for it.
No, not at all. Hey, we have emergency vehicles, and he said he is 5 away from his goal. So, guys, make sure you're helping each other out in the chat and help out emergency vehicles get to his goal. 5 away, guys. 5 away. That's super easy. We have 11 watching right now. So make sure you're helping each other out. Help him out. And also make sure you guys are hitting the like button on this stream as well. Like the smash button, guys. So
or smash the like button, whichever.
No, we like the smash.
We like the smash.
Yep. I don't know. I always say it, like the smash button, because everyone always says smash the like button.
There you go. I like that one better.
All right, man. So underrated blasters, overrated blasters. You make some very good points there, man. Mm-hmm. What would you say you're bigger into, like the function or the appearance of blasters when you begin mods?
It really all depends on the project, because sometimes I'll open up something just to get a better performance out of it, but there's certain things that it's like I look at it and I'm like, this looks cool, but I can make it look so much better. Because like the hammer shots, I absolutely love it because the function on it is great, but like I have 3 on my wall. 2 of them are, pretty heavily modded, but like the third one is literally just a paint job. So
yeah, man. I'm all performance right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started off just basically strictly performance, even though I got into the hobby looking for ways to paint the thing. Once I found out what you could actually do with them, I kind of went all in on performance stuff.
Nice. I mean, I would like to get more into the appearance of them, do more aesthetic modifications, but I'm pretty poor, so it's like I can't afford both. I don't even have paint or anything. I'm still building up my tools. I had 0 tools when I got into this, man, and that's like pretty hard to get built up on if you're not someone that has tools around the house.
I'd have to say then a very cheap way to go for it, because they're actually decent quality. The Home Depot HDX line of tools is actually a great beginner set of tools for anyone getting into the hobby, because you can get a small screwdriver set, a hammer, and like a plier set for probably like $20. And,
Nice.
right there, that's like, the perfect starter guide.
I'll keep that in mind. Hey, we have Ryan Engelstad in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. I appreciate you coming in. We're going to have to get you on one of these one day, too. Also, Nerfer113, he's asking, he put because I called him out on doing the He put
I'm surprised Cloudy hasn't called me out on that yet.
He said, what is your, he said, what do you prefer, the 12 or 18 dart mags, or if you like something other than those?
Again, this kind of comes to form over function. I have to say the 18 round clips. I bought 2 Stampedes specifically for the clips and the fact that they were on clearance, but I basically got them because I knew, hey, that's like 6 18 round clips I have. I actually do have 2 35 round Raider drums, but whenever I use them, I only use one of them, just because besides the fact they're such a pain to load, they're so bulky where the 18 round clips are just, you can have like a stack of 6 in your set. So, I mean, I know they're a little, obviously they're longer than the 12 rounds and all, but I just like the fact that they have the extra 6 shots.
Yeah, I like 12 round mags a lot. And I like 18 stick mags because like they fit in my cargo pockets really easily, and I don't have like gear or anything that I clip stuff onto. So I prefer things I could just stuff into my cargo pockets or into my dump pouch, simply, pretty easily. I tape mags together too. I tape like a 12 and 2 18s together. That works out pretty well for me also.
Yeah, I think first year at APOC, I had when I was using my Alpha Trooper for a Carpe round, I had the 35 round drum, and I had like 2 stick mags in my back and 2 18 round stick mags in my back pocket. And as soon as the drum was empty, I popped that up, pulled out my 18 rounds. As soon as that one was down, I just basically kept dropping them, but because I think I was the only one on the field at that time using magazines. So it was like, I know no one's going to walk off with them. So I was kind of safe.
Yeah. I put tape on my mags too. Like even the ones that aren't taped together, I put like a little line of black duct tape around the bottom, just to tell mine apart from everybody else's.
Oh yeah, that's always one thing you definitely should do if you're using not even just like something stock, but just something that will be coming off the blaster, like a clip or even a stock. Just find a way to put something on it so that it's yours, because I've definitely seen cases where they've grown legs and walked away and no one knows what happened to it because it looks like everyone else's stuff. So
yep, very true, man. And my blasters, since I don't paint my blasters, I actually put Velcro. I put Velcro on them, and I could take my old army patches, like my old name badge, and the ones that used to Velcro onto my uniforms. I Velcro. I put those patches on the blaster I'm using, so I could take it off and put it on the next one I'm using. That way, it'll have my name on it.
Hey, that works too, because that Velcro, even if they're able to take the name patch off, that Velcro is going to be a pain to get off. So
that's
definitely going to help.
I know. I started putting glue on them now. That way. Because Boom Tendo was using one of mine, and so I tried to take the patch off, and I was ripping it off, and the Velcro started coming unstuck with it. So now I'm gluing them down, man. Hey, we got Boss Martin. Thanks for showing up, Boss Martin. I appreciate you stopping by. We also have another question from Nerfer113. Thank you so much for being so active in the chat and asking so many questions. If you guys have questions,
thank you, Nerfer113.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, please let us know in the chat. And I'll relay them over to Griever here with the Griever 2112. His link to his channel is in the description of this video. So go ahead and check him out after the stream. Don't leave yet, but check him out after the stream. But Nerfer99 was saying, what is who who is your favorite YouTuber?
Um, I would have to. I'd have to say, I guess he's asking for the nerfing side of things.
I would
Um,
assume so. Yes.
I'd have to say, I mean, obviously, you're one of them. Clowny. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
I watch I watch Walcom stuff. Captain Xavier, he's freaking God among us. Um,
Yeah, he's got some really cool content, man.
oh yeah. I have to say those are kind of the main ones I watch. I still watch other channels and all. Like I do catch, people who have subscribed to me. So thank you everyone who has done so over the years. Um, I can try and catch stuff where I can here and there, but yeah, I'd have to say those are definitely my favorite ones. At least right now.
Right on, man. Yeah, that's a cool list. Really cool, man. So, how did you get started onto YouTube, and when did you get started onto YouTube?
um, I think it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago or so,
Give me the
and
exact date.
the exact crap. I'd have to go to my channel and look that up. Um, but yeah, it was about 5 years ago or so, and literally in the very first video I did, which was a Stampede review, I actually wind up saying, hey, this is my first YouTube video because why not? Everyone else has a YouTube channel, so why not make another one? And that's really kind of where I started it from. And then it just kind of like I did a couple other, unboxing videos from like my first eBay purchase, a couple other reviews, and then I started doing the stuff in my old garage, and it turned into what the content I was doing there and all this stuff. And then after I moved, then I got this wonderful shop that I have now. Started doing all this stuff here, and a couple of months ago, I brought my friend Arlene on to help out with, well, one, kind of just help the channel out as well, but also adding in the additional like cosplay and prop building content to just kind of at least expand the channel more. So it's not just the, I guess you can say, the niche Nerf channel that some people have and all. It's I'm trying to expand the content for a broader audience. Not that I
Yeah.
don't not love the hobby anymore, but it's like there are other things I've wanted to work on, and this is now giving an outlet and also a friend to help out with it.
How would you explain your content? Because I have a lot of subscribers who aren't in the hobby. How would you explain your channel and what you do to people who wouldn't necessarily know your content?
Well, the content now it's Nerf modifications and amateur cosplay and prop building. Um, I do, I myself do the Nerf mods and reviews, and all the majority of the Nerf videos still themselves. Arlene helps me out with the cosplay builds because it's not just obviously stuff for me. Most of the stuff we've done has been for her so far. And then we do. It's also now prop building and all, where it's not just limited to Nerf stuff because I had recently done um, a lightsaber build, which I think came out pretty damn nice. I had a couple of people come out for a detailing live stream a couple of weeks, maybe about a month or two ago for that one. And yeah, that's really it. It's just basically two people who are not professional at anything trying to make stuff.
Okay, man.
The
So
TLDR. The TLDR. We are amateurs. We are not, we never said we were professionals.
did your channel start out as Nerf related or blaster
Yeah,
modification
my
related?
my channel for basically up until March has been strictly Nerf.
Okay.
It was only at that point where I kind of decided. It was really also kind of after the whole YouTube demonetization thing, where it was kind of like, you know what? Maybe I do need, like, because I had actually considered just stop doing it at that point because I'm like, if YouTube has no faith in me, what's the point? But then I realized I'm like, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the people who actually do watch me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep doing it, but I want to also like do I don't want to just do the Nerf stuff for the sake of doing the Nerf stuff. I want to do the Nerf stuff because I enjoy it. But if it's going to be that, I want to do the other stuff as well because it's what I enjoy as well. So,
right on. We have another question. Boss Martin is asking, he asked,
mhm.
what is the biggest fear you have in Nerf blasters? We use the term blasters here, but he said guns.
Yeah,
What is your biggest fear you have in Nerf blasters? Maybe he means in the hobby. What's your biggest fear in the hobby? Let's just go with that. What's your biggest fear in this hobby?
getting shot in the eye again.
Okay.
My very first Nerf war, I got shot in the eye by an NIC blaster.
Oh, wow, man.
It was not fun. I had a black eye for about 2 days. I had blurry vision for about an hour.
Oh,
My friend
wow.
Corey hates when I tell this story because he's the one that shot me. I
Oh.
do not blame him for it. It was entirely my fault. I was not wearing proper eye protection, and he just got a really good shot on me.
Oh, wow, man. I got hit in the lip. That really hurt. And the worst one, I got hit right in the ear, right in the cartilage, like this little cartilage bump. That one was it was like almost a point blank range too. It hurt so bad, but not in the eye. I got really close to the eye, but not directly in the eye, thankfully.
My happenstance I was just playing with my glasses on. Excuse me. I peeked over a tree, and he caught me right here, and it knocked my glasses off 5 feet that way. And all of a sudden, I just dropped to my knee, going, ah! Everyone just stopped what they were doing, came over and checked on me. Thankfully, I had some ice in my cooler. I put some ice on my eye, and about 45 minutes later, I was back. After lunch break, I was back playing. So
Oh,
it definitely
okay.
did deter me, but it was one of those moments of me going, oh my God, my wife's never going to let me do this again.
Oh man, that's yeah. Um, so you've been doing your videos about 5 years. Kind
Yeah.
of changed it into more of a cosplay and modding type of channel.
I've always had the
So
mods, but the cosplay and the prop builds are the more newer content. So, and I mean, so far, a lot of the cosplay stuff has been, at least from what I can see, pretty well received. So, thank you
oh,
everyone
cool.
for sticking through with that, and showing me I can do more than just the one thing.
Yeah, yeah, really cool, man. So your local community that how's your local Nerf community?
Unfortunately, the New Jersey community isn't what it used to be. We used to have basically monthly wars for a while um, up in the Brunswick's area. Unfortunately, it's kind of died. Unfortunately, it really kind of died out. There's more. It's more now New York City and Philadelphia. Um, I don't really get out to the Philly wars that as much as I would like to, if ever. Mainly because they kind of play on Sundays, and Sundays are usually a bad day for me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm besides one, I do have church obligations. Um,
Yes.
I'm I'm old and I'm fat, so I need a day to recover. And so usually Sunday was always my day of rest after, going out and playing on Saturday. Um,
On the seventh day, he rests.
yes, on the seventh day I rested. But it was if they have an upcoming one where it's supposed to be New York City's invading Philadelphia in the beginning of December. I really do want to try and make that one. I really don't know whose side I would be on since I'm originally from New York, but I now live in the Philly area. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, I'd be the mercenary that, just like pick me for either side.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't. I try and go to church on Sundays. I go to church pretty much every Sunday, but I mean, if it's something big like Ragnarok Oktober Festival, I went there instead.
Yeah.
Normally the stuff is on Saturdays, thankfully. But if there's something major, yeah, I'll go there I'll go to there instead of church on a Sunday. The pastor here is actually really big into the hobby. He's the one that got me into it. He introduced me to a lot of the people in the hobby, like Jangular and Foam Blast, and a lot of the folks here that he knows. So he kind of introduced me to things. He's really cool, man.
See, you
really
have built-in
awesome the pastor
dispensation.
here. Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. Right, I'm at the church now. That's where I'm at. I'm using their internet, which is kind of going a little bad right now. I think it's because someone's using it or something. They're doing elections in the. Exactly. I'm gonna go tell them to knock it off. We have a PKL Nerf in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, Pickle Nerf. PKL, I like to call him Pickle. He's asking me, or he's asking you, if he said, what motors are the most recommended in flywheel blasters? And that is kind of a difficult question.
Yeah, it's really kind of like what your preference is. A lot of people will swear by Hellcat. Some will swear by the Fang revamps.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I remember going back. The Wolverines were like top dog for a while, and then they got overtaken, and then someone else overtook them and all. So, I mean, I've heard good things about the Fang revamps, so I would say those would be at least a semi recommendation.
That would be my recommendation, actually. The revamps I have them in a couple blasters. I'm really happy with the performance.
Yeah, I've never really heard anything bad about them specifically, so that's why I'm saying go for those.
And for the 3S, I would say Neo Rhinos, but I actually just got the Krakens, and I am really digging them, man. I put the Krakens inside of my new Demolisher, or not the new one, my old Demolisher, just new motors, but I put them in my Demolisher, and I am really digging it, man. I am digging it. So I'd say Krakens for 3S is something I would recommend personally. And for 2S motors is revamps, I would say, but I'm,
I will concur.
I don't know a whole lot. I'm still pretty new at this, so you might want to ask on Nerf Haven or something, Let's see. Is anyone else asking a question in there? Said, here's why. He said, Clowny, your mods are some of my favorite. Right on. Yeah, that's cool. Clowny is really good. If you like Clowny, you should check out Griever as well. Griever does have some excellent work, and his link is in the description of this video, so check him out.
Oh yeah, Clowny does some really good work. Like I just recently finally reviewed one of the blasters he gave me back at APOC, which is a half of a side strike. And I mean, the paint job on it alone is phenomenal. So,
what kind of games do you guys play in your local wars?
Well, the last war I went to was APOC. We do a lot of 315, which is always the standard go-to for it. Wingman, Carpe, Freestags usually. Depending on the crowd, freestyle can be a hit or miss. I usually find it kind of fun. It's also basically another version of Kill Confirmed, really.
We wanted to start doing that at our Nerf nights, the freeze tag. That's been brought up a few times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun game type. You just have to make sure people are just playing it properly, because there's always that one point when explaining the rules that, Langley or whoever's running the game is like, you can't just sit there and keep going like this to somebody. So, like, just sitting there and keep tagging each other back and forth so you don't, like, freeze.
Yeah. I think there's something like that in every game type, though. There's always going to be some little thing you got to tell them not to do.
Oh, yeah.
How often do you guys meet? And how often are do you guys have local things like in any organization that's close by?
The guys of Philadelphia, which I am technically a part of, they usually do. I know usually they try and go one. They definitely do once a month at least. They try and do more often, at least once every other week or so. But again, it's usually on Sunday, so it's hard for me to kind of attend those as much as I would love to. So, but also they're more of the super stock stuff, and I I have a few things that are technically super stock. Like I have a souped up Retaliator with a nice 3D printed front grip from Gavin Fuzzy, and um, the new, I want to say it's the modulator stock. It's the one that comes with the modulus version of the dual of the double strike. So I have that on there. So it's like the damn thing's like this long. So it's a huge blaster to wield, but it's still pretty nice to use and all.
PKL is asking, what's your favorite game type?
Honestly, my favorite game type probably is Carpe. Just because it was one of I depending on like the blaster I'm using. If I had something like my Alpha Trooper, I tend to surprise a lot of people with that because most people are like, "Oh, it's an Alpha Trooper. What are you going to do with that?" And then I start firing, and they go, "Oh my god, that Alpha Trooper!" And it's like I'll like in a clip, I'll like knock out 5 guys, and they're just like, "Oh, okay, that's why he's using it." Other than that, like my, because a lot of the games that I usually have done has always been the NIC or DIY blasters. So I usually have my trusty plus bow for that, and that's not really built for speed, um, but it does still get the job done in that game type still. So,
all right. Hey, David James is back. Thank you so much for stopping back by, David.
Hey, welcome back.
All right, let's ask about the community, the community as a whole. What would you say is some of your biggest pet peeves about the online and other community of our hobby? You know, the community in our hobby.
I have to say, my biggest pet peeve is everyone always, and I apologize for if this is colorful language and all, but everyone always says, "Oh, don't be a dick," but the second anyone asks any question, it's what are the first 3 answers that pop up? It's usually just some sarcastic BS, or it's Google it. And it's like, well, obviously if he's asking, he's either having, yes, there are lazy people, but either he's tried Googling it, or he's like, or it's not what he's trying to specifically find isn't being Googled properly. So that's why he's coming to us for help. So it's like you want people to be included in the community, but when somebody tries to ask what would be considered a basic question, they kind of just get like crapped on. It's like, well, yeah, this is why the community kind of gets stagnant after a while. So, because that was like one of the big things people always hated about Nerf Haven was if you don't search for it and you ask a stupid question, you're getting it. You're getting a warning, and after so many warnings, you get your suspension and then your bans and all that stuff. That never really happened on Nerf Revolution, or at least as much on there. But that one just eventually died, and Nerf Haven, stood victorious. But it was like that was like one of the big things. Like when I was on Nerf Rev, everyone was like, "No, don't go to Nerf Haven." I'm like, "Why?" And they're just like, "Oh, they're dicks over there. You don't want to go over there." And it's like, okay, I didn't want to go over there. I only went over to Nerf Haven out of necessity because NREV just crashed and never came back. So
yeah.
But I mean, it's like once you get to know certain people and all, it's like it makes it a little bit more. It makes it easier. So if like you go in knowing at least somebody, or just like trying to make friends with somebody before kind of like diving in yourself, that kind of helps to at least like break the ice or break the water, because even if you don't feel comfortable, like, just posting on Nerf Modders Welcome, hey, how do I do this? You can always go to your friend and be like, hey, how do I do this? And he said, either you'll get an answer from them, or they'll say, oh, try asking this on Nerf Modders Welcome or something like that. So
Yeah.
this way they know what to at least ask for, something like that, and not just be like,
Yeah.
how do I mod a Strive? Where it's
Yeah.
like that you could Google, but it's like, you're gonna get a ton of like, keyboard warriors just saying, "Oh, you're stupid. Why are you even bothering with this?"
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that are new. Like when I was new, I didn't know how to Google things very well. Like I would ask very simplified things, and I would get a lot of stuff popping up, and I wouldn't really know which one to go to. It would, there would be a lot of things pop up, and I didn't know which one was the correct one or the best thing to look for. It's very difficult. There's a lot of terminology in this hobby, and a lot of different things in this hobby that you might not know right off the bat. And if people aren't willing to explain that to you, which fortunately a lot of people were very kind and really patient and helping me out, but some people could be wanting to get into this, and then if they're not getting the help that they need and not finding the answers, they could probably just walk away and just be like, these dudes are all a bunch of jerks.
yeah, exactly.
So
Like,
we want a place to
something that
grow.
some people may not even remember anymore. But like I was saying before, a lot of the stuff that I used to do was NIC or DIY stuff, because NIC it just stands for Nerf Internet Community, because that's what
Hmm.
we are. But the one thing I have to say I'm kind of sad about, and I think Clowny kind of touched on this when he was talking to you, was everyone is all about like the kits and the 3D printed stuff and all of that. Like, there aren't many, you don't see a lot of people doing any of, like, I guess you can say, the old school DIY mods, like, shoving a, big blast tank into a raider, or building a plus bow or something. Like, it's like, yeah, you can get a Caliburn, which I really do want to get, because I got to use the original prototype that Random Shadow actually commissioned from Captain Slug
Nice.
at APOC, and oh my god, it was a thing of beauty. It really was. It was so amazing.
Yeah.
We were getting ready to do the last round, and Shadow just goes, "You want to use the Caliburn?" I'm like, "Yours?" He goes, "Yeah, here." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh." Oh, I wrecked with that thing. It was so amazing. I was this tempted to just, forego all of my stuff, grab my keys, and just make a beeline for my car with it still in hand. But I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
That actually brings us to another question that was asked in the chat. Was David James was asking, what do you think of the new homemade type blasters, the new printed blasters that are coming out now, like the Caliburn, the FDLs, like ones
Um,
people are designing themselves. How do what do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's definitely a cool concept. I mean, personally, I love the Caliburn. I'm definitely saving up for one of those.
Same.
The FDLs are cool. The Jupiters are really cool too,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's just basically the front end of what the Zeus was, which was really all you needed. Um, I mean, I think they're really cool. I mean, I would like to see those actually start making, not so much. I don't want to say, can't really say appearance because they've already appeared, but I would like to see them kind of make an impact on Hasbro, and not even just Hasbro, but like um, Dart Zone and X Shot and Busby, showing like, hey, we're making these things, take a hint, and see them kind of step up the game a little bit, going, well, you got guys, just 3D printing these things. Like, maybe we should start looking at some of these designs or some of these concepts, and like, you know, kind of appealing to this now. Because I mean, I know these are toys for children, but as much as it's said, they have to know that there is the other demographic. Because
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Hasbro made Rival, and Dart Zone started making the Powerball stuff. So I mean, we know they know about us, because if not, we would not have had the Mega Twin. We would not have had the Mega Twin Shock if I'm fully convinced we would not have the Mega Twin Shock if Clowney did not make the Hex Shock.
Yeah, man. I've heard that. I've heard that before from other people as well. I wasn't around for that, but I know the mod, and it is really cool. I
Yeah.
thought it was awesome. So, yeah, I think you guys may be onto something there. Also, David James was asking, what do you think of the double stack mag that's coming out for the Conqueror, or the new the new one that came out from Worker, the big.
I saw that thing. I would love to actually see it in use, because I'd love to know how the thing actually does feed. Because I mean, we've had the single stack mags for forever,
Yeah.
and no one's ever really thought about doing the double stack like that. So it would definitely be an interesting way to see how well it actually works.
Hmm.
So I mean, that would definitely be my first question. Is I want to see it work first.
Yeah.
So like you put it in like a prophecy, or one of the worker swordfishes, and just show how well it feeds. You might be able to sell me on it, but until then, it's still one of those I have to it's one of those wait and see things for me right now.
Same. I agree. PKL was asking, how do you start your own Nerf group?
Um, well, I mean, best way to start your own Nerf group is first find a couple of local friends that want to actually do this stuff with you, and then just kind of build it out from there. Because if you just go on to if you just make a Facebook group and see like, hey, I want to Nerf with people, you're not going to really have anything. But if you start off with at least six or 5 or 6 friends, and you kind of build it from there, and they bring a couple more friends, and then you can go and start the Facebook group saying, hey, we're gonna try and congregate here so we can schedule things to meet up. And then they invite a couple of more friends, and so on and so on. And that'd be my best way. I mean, don't shoot for the stars, shoot for the anthill, and then build up to the stars.
Yeah. Also, I would say using meetup.com is a great resource. If you haven't looked at meetup.com yet, just go to Meetup, and search for Nerf groups on Meetup, and there might be some that you don't even know exist already. Meetup is a great resource for finding anything that people are interested in, and that's how I found ours. When I found out about this hobby and was starting to do my own mods, I looked on Meetup, and I found that they did Nerf night here at the church, and I talked to the pastor, and I came and met him down here, and he started talking to me and helping me out with the hobby and everything, and that's how I got started. And he brought me onto his team for Jangular's Blaster Tag Association tournaments. So that's how I got involved in that. And it all stemmed from meetup.com. And if there isn't anything in your local area on Meetup, start your own, and, just put it out there and see if anyone shows up to them. Definitely have some friends too, just in case no one shows up, but you'll get an idea already because people RSVP or message you through Meetup. But yeah, I would say meetup.com, man. That's a big one. Use that. It's a great resource for finding people to do stuff with. Um,
And just to kind of also add to that, while it did sound like I was kind of disparaging them a little bit, um, the 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 Nerf Facebook community groups are also a great resource for that too, because I actually got friended by a small group in Raleigh, North Carolina, that is looking for people and exposure and all that stuff. In this area, in the Pennsylvania, Philly area, you have the Philadelphians. You have New York City contingent. You have the Altoona ones. I'm sure there's probably maybe one or two like somewhere in between as well, even. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's also a good search too. Is like Facebook, just see see if you can find some local groups there too.
Right on. He also asked, what do you think of the new Overwatch and Fortnite stuff?
The Fortnite blaster looks kind of cool. I've heard that the handle is a little small on it, which is a little disappointing. But honestly, for our community, it's not going to be a problem because we can just swap it out with something we really like.
Yeah.
Um, the the Overwatch stuff, I was really, really hoping for it to be like just amazingly cool. The McCree blaster, I have to say, I am disappointed in that it is only single shot. I'm like, it's a revolver. How did you screw that up? Um, the Diva blaster, I have to say, that honest to God looks spot on. I mean, I'm impressed with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am very upset, or not upset, but I'm very disappointed that the Reaper set is $130 at GameStop. That said, I will be eventually $130 poorer because I am going to put out the money for it because I love Reaper. Um, but I mean, I was really hoping for something that worked kind of more close to the game, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're selling the Reaper blasters as a two pack because Reaper uses two of the Hellfire shotguns. But for the fact that you have to like ratchet prime them from the back to fire it, it's like, oh man, what are you doing? I mean, as again, I'm not a fan of flywheel. I would have been fine if that was a damn flywheel blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit there and dual wield them. I mean, yeah, they
Yeah.
sound like mini chainsaws, but I don't care. I could dual wield them like in game.
Man, I think the Overwatch ones look pretty cool. I do think they look cool. I think they look cooler than they actually are. And the internals don't seem to be that cool, but I mean they look pretty cool. And
Oh yeah, they look phenomenal. Oh
the
yeah, they
price
look
point is
phenomenal. But
not
yeah,
cool.
no, the price point and the function of them is not cool. But
Nope.
by God, they look spot on.
Yeah, they're pretty kick-ass looking, man.
Oh
And
yeah,
the Fortnite blaster, the Fortnite one, is I don't know if that's even if it's full auto. I think that would be kind of cool, but
if
if
it's
it's
full auto, it's definitely going to be worth a pickup because I
yeah.
mean, come on, basically a Nerf branded Scar. I mean,
Hmm.
you have people shelling out, how much to, worker for, or F10 555 for, a Scar kit for their Strife, where you're talking about almost like $100 in 3D printed parts, where now you have it for probably $50. So
Yeah. And I think the shell is pretty I think it's like set up pretty well for like a dual stage cages, or maybe even triple depending on what it looks like in there, but it's pretty
yeah,
long and it's pretty wide. So like at least a two stage cage setup I think would be really awesome in that. Um so
yeah.
I
I
mean
mean, unless once it comes out, it's like the size. It's going to be like the size of a pistol. I
true.
I really think it's definitely going to be probably like the new It blaster, so to speak. As long as the price point isn't like ridiculous because it's Fortnite.
Yeah, or they throw a bunch of if they throw like attachments on there that drive the price up to like $80, like the Demolisher.
Oh, I was so upset about that. Like
True.
$80 for that thing, damn. And there's a couple of things on there that I like. Like I like the way the stock looks on that thing. Like I want that
Hmm.
stock, but I'm not spending $80 for a white demolisher at a stock.
Yeah, man. I love the Demolisher. It's one of my favorite blasters, dude. It's probably my favorite blaster. I mean, I would
Mhm.
love to have that thing. Just even, just the blaster itself, even just without any of the attachments or the stock, I think would be cool to have it.
Mhm.
Better with the stock, but I don't need all the other stuff on there if it's gonna cost like way more.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind having it, man. That's for sure. Um, so we're gonna hit up and we're gonna just take. We're gonna have a couple more questions, man. And
All right.
before we end the stream, So I asked you about the pet peeves in the community. What are your thoughts on the community in general? Our nerfing community. What's your thoughts on it, just in general?
I mean, in general, it's still, something that I enjoy doing. Obviously, obviously. I mean, there's still definitely a lot of good people out there. Obviously, you'll eventually always hit your troll here and there. But I mean, over and all, the community itself isn't bad. It's just individual people that will sometimes kind of irk you, so to speak.
True, and that's pretty much every community, So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
hey, Big Zen Z is here. Thanks for stopping by, Big Zen Z. Appreciate it. Um, Big's New Zealand makes some really cool casted parts. Check them out. Definitely check them out. Um, Let me ask you this then. What would be your advice? This was a question. I forget who brought it up, who said it would be a good question to start asking on my interviews. But it was, what advice would you give to people coming into the hobby, new people? What would be the best advice you would give to them?
Best advice I would give them is start small, because that's basically what I did. That's what most of anyone in the hobby has done. Start small. Start with the fire strike, or if you happen to find one, a night finder. Work your way up to things with more moving parts, because the more moving parts, the more complicated it can make it. Um, but yeah, start simple. Spring upgrades, reinforced catches, that kind of stuff. It's a great way to start figuring out what to do, what not to do, type of stuff.
Yeah.
Don't just look at it and be like, oh, I want to mod that strife with triple cages and the voltmeter and this and that and all that stuff. Unless you have an engineering degree and are a part-time electrician, I would not advise doing that right off the bat. um, but it's like with anything, really. You start small and you just work your way up for it. So, and eventually you will be able to do that to a strife. I mean, hell, I'm not even there yet. And I've been at this for a while.
Definitely, man. That is good advice, dude. Thank you so much. And finally, man, what's the future for Griever 2112? What's the future for your mods and for your channel, my friend?
Well, future mods is I got a couple of projects lined up. I picked up a couple of Falcon Fires I want to start tinkering around with. A couple of other things off on the side that just are things that will be worked on eventually and all that stuff. Working on always improving my trusty plus bow here.
Awesome.
And actually, for the channel itself, we actually do have a couple of new projects coming up. I have a couple of reviews in the pipe for that have been done and that I still need to do. Me and Arlene are actually going to be working on a cosplay build that I have wanted to do for a while, because it's actually going to be for me, and that is my Destiny Hunter, which you've actually used as the thumbnail for for this, which is my the scout rifle that I had made from an old well, not really an old, but from a laser tag blaster. So
yeah, I like that one, man. That was one of my favorites. So that's why
yeah,
I used it.
Honestly, that is to date so far my favorite prop build that I've done.
Nice.
So so we have that and a couple of other things. I have a couple of why am I blanking on it? The replacement for the strong arm, the Devastator. I have a pair of Devastators I'm going to be working on pretty soon, and off the top of my head, that's I think it right now. That's the one good thing I have to say now that I do have a partner for the channel, is we do try and put out a new video every week, unless we have something like scheduled, like Black Friday. We definitely aren't going to have a video because it's going to be, vacationing and all that stuff. Probably the week after Christmas, or the Friday after Christmas, we're not going to have a video. Just because, again, holidays going to kind of take it off and take it easy.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Arlene kind of fell a little ill over the weekend, so that our Friday video should probably be coming up. Might actually even be up now tonight, where she did a bit of a costume tutorial for her Halloween costume. She did Zero, so
Oh, right on.
It actually came out really neat.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Griever, for coming on my channel and hanging out and talking with me, man. I really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm really honored that I got to be your milestone 10th guest and all that stuff. So, but I also do want to say thank you for all the service that you've given to the country and all, being a veteran and everything. So thank you for everything you've done. And thank you for doing this interview series and showcasing, us here.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm kind of new, so it gives me a chance to learn about people, and it gives everyone else a chance to learn a little bit more about you guys as well, man. So, a lot of you guys do some really great work, and it definitely deserves to be shown around. So, yeah. Thank you. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing more from you, brother.
Thank you.
All right, my friend. Take it easy.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the interview. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Pete Fuzzy Pete, what's up? What's up, my fuzzy brother? Oh, the bowling league. That's okay, man. You could always watch it broke nerfing on demand. It'll be up with the chat replay immediately, or maybe just a few minutes after this. Video is over, it should be up, so you can watch it at your own leisure. But I thank you for coming by and showing that support. I appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you guys would hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We have another interview coming up on Friday. Friday, we have OC Nerf. OC Nerf is going to be on here. Alan, he will be here. So please check that out when it comes up. Also, more news. I am going to actually be on a Thunderdome, the Thunderdome channel. Rob and me he's putting me and him are getting together and allowing me to put hobby related content onto the Thunderdome channel, which is really cool. It's really a big honor for me, and I can't thank him enough. It was really unreal that he just kind of said that to me. He said, hey, if you have any videos you want me to post on Thunderdome, let me know and I'll do it. So I'm going to be working on a video to post on there, just kind of like an introduction video, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited for that. Rob is a big inspiration. He's like, me and him have a lot of the same issues, going on. And so we really relate to each other in that way. So, yeah, it's really cool that he's doing that for me, man. So I do appreciate that. But thank you guys for sticking around, watching. Thank you so much. Hopefully I have some new content soon. I have shirts available. What? You can get some Broke Nerfing shirts. They're on my Etsy store. The link is in the About section of my channel. And if you guys want to help me continue on with this channel, I do have Patreon. You guys could get shout outs on my channel for as little as $1 a month. And if you guys want to go all out, you can go $3 a month or $5 a month. And it will just help me continue on with my content. I am on a very fixed income. So it just helps me come up with more content, get more, things like microphones and shirts. Shirt sales help a lot too. So I need to get another camera now since the one I use ended up breaking this morning. So, or just on the way here. So if you guys wouldn't mind just going to my Patreon if you want to help me out and support my channel. Also, if you don't want to become a patron, I do have PayPal. That is in the About section of my channel. My PayPal is in there. The link is there. Or if you're using a PC or a laptop or something, you could, it's in the banner of my channel. All my links are there too. So, yeah, all that stuff really helps me continue on with my channel. So I would appreciate it if any of you guys would help support me. If you guys do it through PayPal, I will give you the same perks as on my Patreon. Just, just know that. So thank you so much. And if you guys want to help support my channel but can't do it monetarily, just help share my content, like my videos, comment on the videos, come to the streams, share them out. You know what I mean? Like them. I think I said that already. But yeah, that helps out so much too. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me ever since I started. It's been like overwhelming and unreal. So thank you so much for all of that. I appreciate every one of you that come to my streams, come to my channel, tell me that you're watching my videos, things like that. Give me feedback on how to improve things. Give me help on my mods, things like that, on editing. All the stuff you guys do for me is awesome. So thank you so much. I want to return the favor to you guys any way I can. This by bringing you on here, helping you get support in my streams. Just I'm trying to, pay it forward as much as I can because you guys have been great to me ever since I've come to the hobby. So thank you so much for that. I also do have friend mail. I'm not going to call it fan mail, but I have friend mail. If you guys, people were asking if they could send me items. PKL NERF he sent me a barricade, but he said he's going to be sending me some army ammo boxes. So that's going to be pretty cool. But if you guys do send me things through friend mail, I will make a video about it. I will make a video dedicated to it, and I will, definitely put your links in the descriptions and everything. So yeah, if you guys want to send me anything, I'd be happy to take it. But you guys can just get at me through my social media. I have my email in the about section of my channel. And all my social media. I'm really easily accessible. So yeah. But thank you, everybody, man. Boomtendo, David James, Big Zen Z. Thank you so much. Pete, Fuzzy Pete. Thank you. Pickle Nerf, Clowny Nerf, Ryan Engelstad, California Nerf, Sisters Fun Learning Experience. Thank you so much for coming by. Empire, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. Boss Martin, Nerfer113, again, emergency vehicles, train and aircraft. Thank you so much. Tisha Kee, my girlfriend, my partner in this. Thank you so much, you guys. All of you have been great. You've been awesome. And I hope to keep making content for you guys that you enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, let me know, and I will try and accommodate in the way I do my content. And, I'll try and make changes if something's not working. Obviously, if a lot of people are telling me this one thing, I'll try and change it. So thanks so much. And remember, I'm giving away $200 to the next